Hello everyone, and welcome to this new and exciting session in which we are going to deploy our API to the cloud. Now in the previous session we had looked at how to build this API using Fast API, where we could simply pass in an image like this and then obtain the output where we get the emotion that is happy, and we also get the time it takes to produce this output. So we could execute that, and you see we have our result right here. That said, the platform we shall be using to deploy our API is Heroku. And Heroku is a platform as a service that's a PaaS that enables developers to build, run, and operate applications entirely in the cloud. So first things first, you could go ahead and sign up. So you click here, sign up, and if you've already signed up, you could go ahead and log in. So once we've signed up and logged in, we could get back to the code. Here we'll stop this, let's clear that out, and then now what we'll do is we'll do a pip freeze. So let's do pip freeze, and you see that we have this output, which is basically all the different packages we have in our virtual environment. So now let's write out or put out all this packages right here in a requirements.txt file. So we'll do pip freeze, and then we'll say we want to send this to our requirements.txt file. Now note that we are in this directory, emotions detection. That's this. So when we do this here, you find this requirements. Let's take this one off. We did this previously. Move to trash. Okay, so you find that now we're left with service, and we have this requirements.txt. That said, let's open up this requirements. You see all the different packages which we installed already. Now we'll get into OpenCV. We have OpenCV. Well, that should be Python. Let's search for OpenCV. Okay, so it's OpenCV Python. And now what we'll do is we'll modify this. And the reason why we're modifying this is because this version of OpenCV right here is one which you could use even with a desktop application. But what we need for the cloud is one which is headless. That is one which doesn't contain all the functions, especially functions like those of visualization, given that what we're doing with OpenCV here is essentially maybe resizing, and that's basically it. So we don't need this OpenCV Python. We instead gonna make use of this OpenCV Python headless. So that's it. We're gonna take this version 4.2.0.32. Okay, so with that done, we save this. Fail to save. Well, once we save that as an administrator, the next thing we'll do is we are going to create this proc file. So in here we have, well, new file, so call this proc file. There we go. See, recognizes that already. And then what we'll do is we're going to paste out essentially what we run each time we want to launch our server. So we have web, and that's it. So here we specify number of workers to 2, and that's it. So here we have Gunicon service main app, number of workers set, worker class set, and that's fine. So let's save this too, and then we create another file, runtime.txt. Now this runtime.txt is essentially going to take this Python version. So we'll copy this and we paste that out here. So here we have Python, and this should be fine. Now also make sure you include this hyphen before this Python version. With our proc file ready, the requirements.txt file ready, and the runtime.txt file ready, we are gonna get into the Heroku platform, where we'll get right here and click on create new app. So we want to create a new app, and then we're going to give this app a name. So while this loads, there we go. We're going to call this emotions detection. Now we could either add this to a pipeline or deploy this directly. So we want to deploy this directly. We have 3 options: using the Heroku Git, using by connecting to GitHub, or using the Heroku CLI. So we want to use Heroku git, and so we're going to follow this simple instructions right here. So it's not very long. Now first things first, Heroku login. So let's get back here. We have Heroku login. Now you find that this will work, and now but you should note that let's stop this. You should note that if you don't have Heroku initially installed, this wouldn't work. So the first thing you want to do is do a sudo snap install Heroku. Sudo snap install Heroku before doing the Heroku login. Now given that I've done that already, I'll just do Heroku login, and then that should be fine. So right here we have Heroku login. Press any key to open up the browser, press any key, and you should be able to log in very easily. There we go. We'll click on this link right here, and if you click on that link, you should be able to log in. So you could see here we have logged in. So that is it. We're now logged in. The next thing we want to do is from here, what we want to do now is get into our project directory. So once we get into our project directory, let's zoom this. We get into our project directory, and then from there we do a git init. Now if you're not familiar with git, you could take a crash course on git so you get familiar with all these terms. So let's get back here and let's clear this, clear, and then we do a git init. There we go. See, we in this emotions detection directory. Now once we've done that, you see initialize empty git repository in our directory. Now the next thing we want to do is have this here. Let's copy this and then paste this out here. So we have this Heroku git remote, and then we specify the project name. Notice how this project name is automatically generated because this is what we put in. Let's get back here, run this, and that should be fine. So that's what we have. Now on command field, we told that command field git remote fatal unsafe repository to add an exception for this directory called git config, and that's it. So what we'll do is now we're gonna copy this and then paste out right here. So there we go. Let's now get back and run this, and this should work. So that is it. So set git remote Heroku to this, and that's fine. Now the next step we want to do is deploy the application. So we have git add, git commit, and git push. So let's go ahead, do git add. We want to add up all files. So pick the dot, and then we have, let's copy this git commit. Git commit, make it better, paste that out. Well, let's say our first commit of emotions detection app, or API. So this is a string which you could obviously modify. Now we run that, and then now you see we have all this created, and then now let's go ahead and do the git push Heroku master. So here we have git push Heroku master, and they should work fine. What we get here is this push rejected to emotions detection neural learn. So let's scroll up and try to understand why we have this problem. So we told you requested runtime is not available for this stack. Let's open this up, and then let's try to check out on those different Python versions available for the stack. Here you could see we have this 3.9.15, which is on all supported stacks. So let's get back here, and then a level of the runtime, let's take all this off, paste that now, save that, and then we'll do git add, git commit. Now what we'll say here is we have updated runtime.txt file with Python version 3.9.15. Run that, and then now we're ready to do git push Heroku master once more. we still get another error right here where we told that no matching distribution found for OpenCV Python headless. So now we're going to take off this version, and then we do the git push one more time. Once the git push done, you see that we now have this release, and here's our link. So let's click on this. We open up, and there we go. See, we have hello world. So this is what we have online now, and we could go docs, and we check out on our Swagger UI. So let's reduce this, and let's try this out. See, we're trying this out online. We've deployed this on the cloud. Let's execute and see what we get. Okay, so it even takes less time as compared to with the PCs, taking like 0.23 seconds. That's about 230 milliseconds. Let's reduce this so we could see that. Okay, so that's it. So we see that our model is working. We're able to obtain our outputs, and then now what we could do is we could actually from here, let's copy this here and then try this out on Postman. So there we go. We have this, enter the URL, and then we select post request. Well, here we have the body, here we have form data, then our key here is going to be image im, and then the value, given that it's a file, we will now select the file. There we go. We have our file selected. Click on send, and we should get our expected output. You see here we have happy and time elapsed 230 milliseconds. So that's what we expect. You could see from here we have this different timing, we have the status, and we have the time it took for all the different events right here. And so that's it for the section in which we've deployed our API to the cloud. And in the next section, we are going to carry out load testing on our deployed API.